I had plans to start this video out all enthusiastic and excited, but it feels kind of weird to do that after seeing what happened to Jonathan Huberdeau towards the end of that third period. Yes, it's true, the Vancouver Canucks have defeated the Calgary Flames 8-1, but despite the fact that 8-1 is an absolute dominating score, we do have to give our greatest sympathies and hopes of recovery for the Calgary Flames' top-paid superstar. Jonathan Huberdeau was driving towards the goal on Kevin Lankinen, and Filip Hronek came up from behind, kind of shoved him a little bit, and I think Hronek might have clipped Huberdeau's skate a little bit, preventing the guy from stopping. Huberdeau then went face first into Kevin Lankinen's mask, and then shoulder and rib cage first into the post, dislodging both the goaltender and the net at full speed, and he had to get helped off at the end of the sequence by the Calgary Flames trainer and another player. So obviously we hope that Huberdeau is able to recover fine and properly. You don't want to see something like this going down in a preseason game, but at the same time, you also don't want to see a score like this being propelled in a preseason game, especially if you're the home team. The Vancouver Canucks have defeated Calgary 8-1 in Calgary, and it was such a convincing showing of offense from this lineup that I think a lot of Canucks fans, if you weren't believing heading into the preseason, oh boy, you better start believing now. We've got 9 goals to talk about in a few minutes here, so let's dive into all of them. Things started out early in the hockey game, 7 minutes in, as Quinn Hughes spins around in his offensive zone and throws a Hail Mary lob down the middle right onto the tape of one Brock Boeser, who takes the puck, comes in on a breakaway, and snipes it by Calgary Flames goaltender Ivan Prosvetov. Now, unfortunately, Prosvetov didn't really look all too great in this game. He played the first half, and despite making 14 saves on the night, he had a total of 19 shots against, and after the Boeser goal went in, everything seemed to just kind of spiral out of control in the second half of that first period. On the man advantage, Quinn Hughes tosses it over to Elias Pettersson for a one-time slap shot bomb. Oh my gosh, that might be the first time in years Elias Pettersson has scored a goal like that on the 1T. Just absolutely locks and loads and fires it by Prosvetov, assisted by Quinn Hughes and Connor Garland. So right away, in 15 minutes of game time, Quinn Hughes gets himself 2 assists. Nice to see that there, and even better for Elias Pettersson, the confidence that this guy has to be able to fire it like he did years and years ago. But that's not all. Because, I kid you not, just 22 seconds after the Elias Pettersson goal, you had Tyler Myers scoring, assisted by Arshdeep Bains. It's right off the draw. You've got Sasson, Carlson, and Bains out there. Bains wins against Nazem Kadri. Puck goes back over to Myers, who just winds up and slaps it down. It goes off of Nazem Kadri, either the stick or the glove or something in front of him, and it goes by Prosvetov. It's a quick 3-0 lead for the Vancouver Canucks. Nice to see Arshdeep Bains getting that face-off win as well. Very clean against Nazem Kadri to give Vancouver that 3-0 lead. And then just 56 seconds later, the Vancouver Canucks, they're on the penalty kill. And guess what? You have a shorthanded goal scored by Derek Forbort. Teddy Bluger is able to take control of the puck off the draw, bounces it off the boards, out into the neutral zone where Connor Garland comes in streaking, picking it up. Then there's a little 2-on-1 rush where Garland goes across to Forbort, and he makes no mistake, gets it by Prosvetov. It is a 4-0 hockey game with 3 minutes to go in the first period. Not ideal, in the slightest, for the Calgary Flames. Vancouver had 12 shots in the first period, and Prosvetov stopped 8. 4-0 lead, that's it. You had Kevin Lankinen on the Vancouver side making all the saves that he did in the first period. 11 saves total for Lank. Things didn't start out too well in the second period as Joel Farabee, 30 seconds in, ends up putting Calgary on the board. This was a really weird play, though. I'm not going to go out there and blame Kevin Lankinen. He kind of tripped up by himself, and when you watched the goal go in live, you were kind of like, hey, wait a minute, Lankinen is down. He's on the ice. Why is there no stoppage of play? And then you kind of just watch the replay, and it looks like Kevin Lankinen straight up just loses his footing. Yes, Joel Farabee is right in front of him, and he stumbles a little bit, but it doesn't really look like he touches Lankinen all too much. It's fine. It's a 4-1 game. Farabee was in front of the goal, and he's able to spin around, shoot it, and get it by Lank the Tank. But all you needed was 3 minutes and 31 seconds for Max Sasson to respond and give Vancouver that 4-goal lead once again, assisted by Jake DeBrusk. This was a really good play. Good rush by the Vancouver Canucks as Max Sasson goes right down Main Street. He chips it over to his left for DeBrusk, who goes quickly back over to Sasson, and without even thinking, Sasson comes in towards the goalie, chips it by the goaltender, and it is a 5-1 hockey game. That is yet another Ivan Prosvetov goal against. That's the final one that he had. And then Vancouver, they continue things on once Devin Cooley gets into the net. Prosvetov is out, Cooley comes in, and the very first shot that Devin Cooley, the second Calgary goalie, faces is an Aatu power play goal, assisted by Linus Karlsson and Phil Hronek. Aatu is down there at the bottom of the perimeter face-off circle. He spins around in tight and just gets a shot to go through. Cooley didn't even realize that it was in up until like 3 or 4 seconds after they were celebrating the goal. Just an unfortunate play there for the Calgary Flames goaltender. But Aatu, good presence of mind to just kind of spin, take the shot. He won a whole bunch of face-offs in today's contest. In fact, just taking a look at it, the guy had a total of 71% on the dot. And you know, it's not 100, of course, but 71% means you had to win a lot of face-offs, and he did just that throughout the entire game. Third period comes, and this is where Vancouver finalizes their win as Quinn Hughes ends up getting the 7-1 goal, assisted by Boeser and Pettersson. It's a really nice 3-on-1 rush as Brock Boeser comes in. He heads it over to Quinn, who comes in towards the goal and backhands it lightly through the wickets, 5-hole of Cooley to make it 7-1. And then you had yourselves Max Sasson getting his second of the game short-handed with 58 seconds to go in the contest. It's chipped away by Arshdeep Bains. 2-on-1 short-handed rush for Vancouver. Bains slips around the D, passes it backhand over to Sasson, who makes no mistake. Vancouver with these short-handed goals, odd man rush goals. This is a lot different compared to what we saw out of this team with Rick Tocchet at the helm. Adam Foote seems to be very willing to see the Vancouver Canucks do more immediate, aggressive, offensive rush chance style plays. Rick Tocchet seemed allergic to that. And for Vancouver, there certainly were a number of these plays that were set up for them. Teddy Bluger had a breakaway as well that was stopped up by the post. You had Pettersson, who had a penalty shot. He made a really nice move on the goaltender, just couldn't get it over the pad. I mean, this was a really good game for the Vancouver Canucks. Just thinking about what they were able to do against a pretty veteran-presenced Calgary Flames team, I'd say the quality of both of these lineups were pretty similar. Vancouver and Calgary had a lot of veteran talent in there. Vancouver also had themselves the Sasson, Bains, and Karlsson trio rounding things out alongside of Aatu. So obviously Vancouver did have just some extra depth in there as well. Not to mention Joseph Labate. He happened to be in the lineup too. But Vancouver really does take it to a Calgary Flames team that featured the likes of Rasmus Andersson, Mackenzie Weegar. You had Huberdeau in there, of course, Sharangovich, Coronado, Connor Zary, Pospisil, who ended up getting hurt, unfortunately. Yeah, best of recovery to Pospisil and Huberdeau. But with that in mind, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this Canucks dominant win over the Calgary Flames 8-1. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button is there for you. Also, comments help out with the algorithm. I really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.